You're a reader, so what are favorite books that you've read in the last year or so?
Yep. So I love The Outliers is really an awesome book. Malcolm Gladwell did an unbelievable job. And so we're a hockey family, so there was constant hockey references back to that. That book was amazing. I'm trying to think. I mean, I usually read it once a year, but One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I love Jack Nicholson in the movie, but that book is unbelievable. I love bios. I love business bios. I'm a big music guy, so I'd say anything with like Jerry Garcia, the Grateful Dead. Again, that was a business engine that kind of took place, and they didn't even want it to happen, and they just got good at it, and they still make money. They still make money now. I mean, you could, they're still working hard to make. I see everything with the Grateful Dead, symbol on it. They're constantly trying to. It's just it's an engine that they just kind of keep going. Yeah.
I got it. If you were talking to another family business that was just going through some tough times or just looking for advice, they're getting together, what is your advice to other family businesses?
Yeah, I mean, you especially, a year ago, you were constantly hearing support local, support local, support local. But, and this is nothing against these companies that make this work, but you drive by a fast food restaurant, and you see a line of cars waiting there. My advice to people is really push the fact that you are a family business, whatever, not saying that you're looking for, a handout or people to feel sorry for you. Really let people know that and like I mentioned earlier with our staff that takes pride in seeing the product that they handled at a store 40 miles away, really let people know that you're a family, that hands-on family, and whatever you could do to convey that to your customers. We try our best at it, but my dad, myself, and my brother, we're here every day, so we're shaking people's hands, we're talking to people. That's something that's going to be missed if it's gone, and I don't know if that's something to tell.
1,000%. Let me add to that.
Yeah.
No, this is great. So two things. One, there's a company out there, Edelman. They put a document out there called the Edelman Trust Factor or something like that, and they basically, family-owned businesses have like a 40% more trust, 20% more trust. I don't remember what the number is, but significant amount more trust inherently from both their team members, the employees, and from their customers, than a privately or than a non-privately held company or a publicly owned company. They're just different, and people get that. So the fact that you're putting family owned on there, I would even take it a little step further. Tell the stories, especially, on your packaging, on things, so that people get that. I just was at a friend's house on Friday night over the weekend, and he hands me a beer, a Sierra Nevada Brewing Company beer. And I don't know if you've ever had one of those, but at the top of the can, it says family owned and operated and argued over. And I'm like, I love that. I snapped a picture of it and I throw down my, my LinkedIn platform, and it just kind of took off over the weekend. How many people really liked, that idea? So shine a light on that, make it proud, tell the stories. Your great grandfather, your grandfather, they've gone through and they've done things, and your grandmother, and it's your grandmother's secret sauce that they decided that they're going to bring in, and then, let people know those stories. I've seen in places where, like on the menu, they talk about why this, this isn't just gnocchi. This is our grandmother's gnocchi who did A, B, C, and her name was this, and she was from here. And that connection really helps people an awful lot. Stories. I'm a big fan of, and I've learned telling stories. This is why I do the podcast. I want your story to be out there because I want people to know, who's Giuseppe's Bakery, and they're family owned. It's fourth generation today, and hoping to go to the fifth generation. And, like to your point, family business is the economic engine of upstate New York. It's the economic engine across the world. There's more family owned businesses out there than anything else. It's like 68 or 70% of all businesses are family owned at some level. But in upstate New York, I think, with everything that we've been through the years, between losing Kodak and Xerox not being as big, and, all of that stuff, we used to be this big blue collar, community, and we're not anymore. But it's that family businesses that have stepped up and got innovative and thought about things differently that has really made a difference. So hats off to you and your family for everything that you've been doing for the community. Those, the jobs that you have through the years, think about how many people were employed through the years, not just this year right now, but for the 100 years that you guys have been doing this stuff, whether it was just your family or others. That's a lot of help to this community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful, Mike. That's a great way of putting it, a great way to think about it. Just talking this podcast, I might open the store up today. We're closed officially, but I might open it, feeling ready to go here.
I'm glad.